Hi everyone, I'm Debbie Pilch. I'd like to welcome you to Mildred's Dream Foundation's signature event, A Night to Dream. It means so much to the entire Pilch family that you're here with us tonight. None of us would be here if it weren't for the loving and kind spirit of Mildred Pilch, commonly known as Millie, whose legacy and lifetime work inspired her 9 children to create Mildred's Dream Foundation. Millie's passion for and commitment to making the world a better place was evident in everything she said and did. She led by example. In addition to raising 9 children and instilling in us the importance of caring for others and giving back, she was a dedicated community member who held numerous leadership roles and a volunteer in the public schools working with children with social and emotional learning differences. Mildred's Dream Foundation honors her passions by providing grants to organizations which do one of more of the following: assist those with physical or mental health challenges, as well as their families, work towards eliminating violence and abuse while supporting survivors of such trauma, and engage in education initiatives which promote access to education as well as a celebration of diversity and inclusion. We also honor her use of gardening as a metaphor for life by using her favorite plant, a coleus, as our logo. We are excited to announce that with the generous support of our donors and the incredible work of our grant committee and staff, we have grown this garden and provided more than 200 grants, totaling over $2 million. Mildred instilled in her children that people must work together to plant seeds and tend the garden. This is why it's so important to us to run a number of events each year to help educate people and to raise money towards causes Mildred was passionate about and which have impacted so many people we all love and care about. Although our family will absorb all costs associated with events, including this one, and operating the foundation, we need our friends and our friends' friends and their friends to help spread the word about the foundation and to support our events so that we can collectively make a difference and tend to this garden together. Last, but certainly not least, we'd like to say how humbled we are regarding the amount of support that has already been exhibited, and how grateful we are to everyone who has sponsored this event, donated their time, energy, and financial resources, or an item for the live and silent auction or raffle, as well as everyone involved in the casino and the band. Millie would be smiling that we are all here tonight and working together to make a difference in the world by growing Mildred's Dream Foundation. Now let's hear from a few of our grantees, followed by a few words from my brother, Rich Pilch, chairperson of MDF's Board of Directors.
Love Life Now Foundation is an organization centered on awareness and prevention around the issue of domestic violence. You know, that first slap, right? You say to yourself, oh my gosh, how did I end up here? Our father brutally abused our mother. And so I became a young adult survivor at the age of 21 to 23 until I escaped. And so for us, when folks are coming to us in crisis and being able to access, you know, the most basic things, a car ride to a shelter, a flight out of the state so they can get safe, a hotel for 2 or 3 nights while they figure out what their next steps are.
I experienced firsthand 7 years worth of a domestic violence relationship. I was trying to get away with my children. I needed to feel safe. I never felt safe before. I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only one experiencing domestic violence. I was sitting in shame. It If I don't have somewhere to go, the only place I do have to go is back to my abuser. And I just knew if I went back, I would die.
It's the reason why we started the Get Safe Fund program and getting people connected to critical resources, financial resources that they're not often privy or have access to when they are in the heat or in the flight mode of getting out of an abusive relationship.
And I remember feeling relief. It was everything. It was every part of me being able to relax. It was being able to take a shower, to laugh with my children, to just feel no anxiety about who's coming through the door. Is it going to be Jackal or is it going to be Hyde?
I know the fear that in cases thinking that you're free and then realizing that it's the most dangerous time for you, that leaving moment. It's because of organizations like Mildred's Dream Foundation that we are able to put another leg of journey out for people that are fleeing domestic violence situations. We simply cannot do this work without you. I think oftentimes we discount how critical it is for each dollar to end up in a fund like the Get Safe Fund initiative, and thinking that we have to do so much more than what we think we can do. But every single dollar, no matter how small, means the world to the survivor or the victim that is in crisis being able to access it. You make that possible. And we at Love Life Now Foundation cannot thank Mildred's Dream enough for that.
So in 2015, my husband and I experienced the loss of our daughter Maggie. I had experienced a stillbirth and thought I could manage the grief on my own, but found myself really struggling to parent my surviving children. So I looked up a grief therapist in the area and just so happened to connect with another mom that had experienced a similar loss, and we started the pregnancy, infant, and toddler loss support group. And that started my journey at Hope Floats. Hope Floats is a bereavement and education center. We provide free grief support to children, teenagers, and families in the community who are coping with grief or significant loss.
My husband and I met in college. He was attending UNH, and I was in a dental assisting program. We knew that we wanted to have a family. First was Lane, and then came Elle, and then came Parker. Lainey. She was a bright light, and she was everything to us. Lane came down with a cough, and we got to my parents' house, and she had a fever, so I decided to bring her to urgent care, and we got to urgent care, and her cough continued to get worse, and she died the next day of sepsis. She's the most kind kid that I have ever met. I aspire to be just a little part of her because she was just always so kind and inclusive and always caring of others. Without Hope Floats, I honestly don't know where my family would be.
We see people walk through the door in possibly the worst state of mind.
And so you may see people feeling like they can't talk about their grief and loss, the adults specifically feeling like they can't talk about that. Maybe they're not as supported as children might be in their community. So this is a really incredible space for them to join together and be able to open up as well. So the funds that we've received have gone towards our Mike's Club program. And so, our main Mike's Club program is that children come every other week throughout the school year. And we do these activities that are focused on talking about feelings related to grief and loss, sharing memories of loved ones, and also talking about ways to cope. I just want to express my deepest gratitude for your support, for allowing us to be able to be there to support families in our community.
I'm hoping that we can help others just as, as Hope Floats have helped us.
Gloria Gemma is a resource for those that have cancer. Any type of cancer, any stage. If you're newly diagnosed, if it's a recurrence, or if you have a metastatic, it is a wonderful resource. All the services are free to the individuals.
I was working hard, job I loved, single mom. My kids were getting older. We were planning a trip out of country, and I said to myself, I should get a physical before we go on the trip, just to make sure everything's kosher and good to go. And I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma of the left breast, my liver, bones, and lymph nodes. And I have to tell you, if I was not involved with the Gloria Gemma Foundation, I would not be okay right now.
So she contacted me. We had a couple of long conversations, and then I took her for her biopsy and for her PET scan.
She stayed on the phone with me for a good half hour, 45 minutes, just talking. Let me cry.
And then when she did find out that in fact it was metastatic, she knew about our metastatic support group, and she wanted to come.
It's a support that you can't get from a doctor. It means a lot when somebody tells you, I know what you're going through, or the same thing happened to me. You know, you don't feel alone. It goes a long way, you know, it really does.
People think metastatic, they think immediate death. And then they meet people in the group that are 2 years out, 10 years out. They're living. They're living more than more people I know do.
Just listening to their stories, they inspire me.
We're so grateful that we can offer this group and these programs for people in need, because we want people to know that they're never, ever alone. We would like to thank the Mildred's Dream Foundation for their ongoing support for our programs at the Gloria Gemma Breast Cancer Resource Foundation.
Coaching for Change is a nonprofit that serves young people. Our mission and focus is on empowering college students to inspire the next generation. Our model is we recruit college students to go into schools to help with academics. They're helping with behavior. They're really providing that extra building support that's needed for so many young people.
I'm able to relate to the students. The students that we're working with are from underprivileged families. They're in inner city communities. They're struggling. Myself, coming from a single family home, my father's been incarcerated since 2nd grade. I never had a powerful male figure in my life until Coaching for Change. Unfortunately, the truth is that's the case with most of the students in the schools that we're working with. So at its base level, my presence is helping these students. My presence is showing students that there's more out there. What we're noticing, what we learn, what we recognize is that students are going to school, but they're not present. School isn't enjoyable how it's meant to be. People don't feel as safe as they need to be. If they're enjoying their school experience more, they're going to school more. If they're going to school more, they're getting better grades.
I would say Coaching for Change provided me like the knowledge, the training, and the background to grow myself as a person, to be a better mentor to these younger students especially. I actually have transitioned to a teacher at the school I mentored at, which was a great experience as well.
The grant that we received last year really helped us expand the work we were doing. Historically, we've been an after-school program, but to be able to go in school to work directly with teachers in classrooms really allowed us to really learn a lot this year about how we can impact attendance, behavior, and grades. And so being able to have college students go into classrooms to help students during the school day was really powerful, because we not only saw an increase of attendance by 7 days, a reduction of office referrals by 10%, and on average, our young people improved by 1 letter grade. So being able to help the school culture and the classroom culture by bringing college students into the school has been a massive, massive support for Coaching for Change. I would like to just say thank you for all the support that you've given to Coaching for Change. It's really powerful because you're sending a signal to so many young people that you believe in them, even though they've never met you. So thank you for your belief and your desire to create opportunities and access for young people that may not have this chance.